Hi, good day, everyone. I'm gonna just do a quick review of how to create your Excel sheet for your weekly test marks. I'm doing it now because I got some and people were having difficulties. I apologize for not having done it sooner. I just took it for granted that people knew how to do Excel sheets since you would have been doing this for a long time to create your master sheets. But a lot of people said they were getting help from their kids and some of them were at school. So I'm sorry I didn't do it before, but I'm going to do it now so that you can review your documents that you did and try and use this format and see if it helps you with ease of adding marks and finding percentages and so on. Right, so I'm going to share the screen to a blank Excel sheet. If you're not familiar with Excel, this little black arrow will highlight your column. So your first column usually has to be a little larger because that's your names of your students. And you would put in, skip about 3 or 4 lines and probably go down to the 5th line and write in names. And there you can either copy and paste, or if you're new to this, just type it in. Type in all the names of the students. Right, so just type and go down and fill those in. I'll take you to one that's complete after. Right, so you fill in all the names of your students, and then of course at the top here, you will type your class. And we want weekly tests. And you see it goes across there to the other space. So we want to just highlight these two and we merge and center so that you see it there at the top and it doesn't get cut off after. So if you have a long heading, you just highlight across and click merge and center. All right, so then we will put in the subjects and so on. I'll show you that on another sheet. So we want to name our sheet. So if you look down here at the bottom, you'll see sheet 1. So you right click and we can rename, delete, copy, move, and so on. We want to rename this to, I'm renaming it to collated weekly test scores. Because every week I'm going to put the marks in here so that we can add them up at the end. All right. Now this little add here tells us we're going to add a new sheet. So when you click that, sheet 2 comes up. Of course, right click, rename, and weekly test number 1. Or you can just name them, add another one, rename. Right? You could just put 1, 2, 3, whatever going down, and for how many ever weeks. And when you get to the end, this final sheet can be renamed end of term test, term 2, so that you also have that in here. So this will be your whole Excel sheet that you will save as your term 2 Excel sheet, and it will have all the marks that you have for the whole term. All right, so we're going to come out of this and I'll show you one where we put in those already. So I just needed to show you here how to add sheets. So it's a little add sign, and how to rename. So right click and rename. If you need to remove it, you just click delete and it would go. All right, so right click and it will give you the options and you just type in the spaces. The slider bar here will move your whole sheet. So let's stop sharing here. And we will go back to a sheet that is already filled with some information. This one is Mr. Hadeo's sheet. So let me move this out. Right. So here we have Excel weekly test mark sheet, standard 3 Sahadeo term 2. So this is what it was saved as. And the first tab, collation of weekly test marks. And we have all the students' names the title, and you have all the weeks on top. And then you would have total and percentage, and test 1, 2, 3 going down. And of course, we can include here end of term or whatever, but we want to use this as a test score in your end of term marks. All right, so under your subjects or your headings here, each one should have a score, right? So all of these are out of 100 because that would be the final mark or your percentage from your weekly, from each week, right? So you put those in here. Now, when you come to the total column, come up to your home tab up here. See, this home is highlighted underlined green. So in the home tab, this little E is your sum. So when it gets gray, we're not clicking the arrow on the side, we click in the E, and automatically it's going to sum or add up all the scores, and you just hit enter and you'll see it's out of 900. Now, when we put in the children's marks here, we don't need to do anything again, because what we do now is this little box on the edge here on your right hand corner. You see a little black add sign show up, hold it down and drag. And you drag to the last student and you'll see zeros come up. So when you enter scores here, it's going to automatically add it for you. You don't have to add anything on a calculator again. Good, so we want a percentage. So if we click next door and we have percentage here, I'm going to create the percentage here, and you will forever be able to do this in yours. So you come up here in this long white bar and you click, or you can do it in the box here. It doesn't matter. I like to do it here. Now, I taught myself how to do this. So this is how I learned it for me. If someone out there did a course and you know an easier way to do it, feel free to tell us, or do it your own way if you're accustomed doing it your own way. This is my way, and I find this easy. So for people who don't know how to do it at all, maybe this will help you. So you put the equal sign, right? And whatever is the letter and the number for your cell that has your total, you put that in next. So this is K4. So you type in here K4. Doesn't have to be capitals or commas or anything. And then you backslash, and then you do $sign. So you hold down shift with the number 4 key to get your $sign K, $4. And when you hit enter, it gives you 1. So then you will go, let me move this off, and a number tab in your home, you will see a percentage, or you can click this arrow on the side and it's going to give you a drop down option. You click percentage here, and if you want decimal places, I don't use any, it's easier to tabulate without. So 0 decimal places, okay, and it's now out of 100. Same principle to copy and paste. Hold down that little green box with that black plus sign and drag it down to your last student. And of course, everybody's going to have 0%. So now when you add your marks in here, it's going to tabulate. So let's go to the weekly test tabs now. So you see these little 3 dots here. When you click this, it's going to take you down all of them, right? So you see it's 8 weekly tests, and our last tab is your end of term test. To get back to the front, you click on these tabs, these 3 dots, and it brings us back. All right. To add the names and all of these, you just highlight with your down arrow, Control on the keyboard C, and then you go to each one and just Control V, and it will paste it in. I've already done that here for all of these, and then hit escape, and it takes out that line. So here Miss Sahadeo has already put in for week ending 21st of February, her maths, her comprehension, grammar, and we have total and percent. So the same principle applies here. So in this box, you go to the tab and you hit this gray E, and this little twiddly box comes around everything, and it says sum, and you enter sum, and it's out of 40. Then you drag down, and it adds up all the marks. Now, if children are absent, sadly, you must put a 0 because it's going to give you problems in the end if you have the word absent or ABS. So you need to put a 0 to make your life easy. They didn't do the test, they got a 0. They were absent, we can't help that. And of course, we go here to percent and we do equal. And this time it's E4. So E4 backslash $E $4, enter. And this one was already set on percentage, so it came in automatically 100%. So now you drag down and it's going to give you the percentages for all the students. Right, so that's what you do for all your weekly tests. I'm going to do it again for this one, and then I'm going to show you how to take the marks and put it in the collation sheet. So total, this gray E, hit enter, come back here, drag down. Go back up, 1%. So everything is going to be equal. And this one is E3 this time. So E3 backslash $E $3. And you get 100%. And you drag it and drop it in. Good. Now go back to weekly test 1. So now we want to, at the end of the term, use these marks to award the child with a mark in your end of term test. I think our report uses 25%. I can't be sure, but whatever you want to do, use it as a percentage, because I mean, they're doing weekly tests, so it's only fair that you use it as a piece of their mark at the end of the term. So because these were done using a formula, we cannot copy and paste them. So you come and you put in the scores next door. Pretty easy. Right, because you can't copy and paste it as it is, because it has a formula on it, you will get an error. All right, so then we copy these and we want to put it in here. Let's just select the area. And here we have all the students' marks coming in. So we do the same thing for weekly test 2. Starting with Nathaniel Pascal, 88. Right, it does not take that long. It's easier to do this than going back and forth from one worksheet to the next, rather than looking on this one and going and find the child's name and typing it in. I find it easy to do it like this. Good. So then you select it, Control C, come to collation, find a spot, Control V, and it goes in. Right, and of course, well, then you can come back here and just delete these, because you don't need that there. Right, so here you have already started to create your final score. And of course, if you want it out of 25, you're gonna use this as your end of term test mark, and you want this out of 25. So you're going to just take this and divide it by 4, right? So it's just equal L4 divided by 4. So 25, of course, you drag this. So you wanted a percent, and you do that, right? So we want an end of term mark here, 25% or 50% or whatever. So again, equal L4. Be sure to check the cell, L4, the cell, and backslash, we're dividing by 4, and you get 25%. As it showed up before, if it was 0.25, you would go here and click this gray percent, and it would come to 25. All right. And of course, then you would drag that, and it would give you the end result mark. Okay. So for weekly test 3, whatever week that is. So that should be today. So you would type in the subject and just type in your students' marks, total, use your gray E, percentage, if it's G3 or whatever, percentage sign, type it in, come to collation, and put it in here, and everything here is going to change. And at the end of the term, you just take this and use it as one of your end of term marks for your end of term. Okay, so that is generally what you do for your weekly test sheet.